Hi, this is Meghan Falcone.
Good morning or afternoon or evening. This is Josh Brenner.
And Seth Brenner.
Podcast.
We've had a slow start because something amazing happened.
Go on.
Honestly, one of the most amazing things that's happened to me in a very long time.
My dad gifted the podcast this beautiful Neumann microphone.
Like the single nicest possession we have now.
But we got robbed before, and they didn't take anything because we don't have anything. So now if we got robbed again, we would have something.
Yeah, we're going to have to figure out some sort of safe situation. John, thank you so much. Sennheiser, thank you so much.
Actually, my dad said very specifically not a thank you to Sennheiser, but a thank you to his former coworker and listener, Rob Blumenreiter.
Is there any reason he's everybody's favorite Falcone?
Oh, snap.
Hi, Seth.
Hello.
How you been?
Busy, but good. Busy,
You're
but
always
good.
so busy.
My schedule is just a mess right now, and we're going to get it fixed up real soon here.
When you coming back to LA? Next month?
And-
Full-time, I mean.
Oh, full-time. End of spring, beginning summer.
Well, we can't wait because, frankly, the only time we're seeing you is when we're doing these podcast episodes.
Well, it's not enough for me, so...
I'll see there.
Great.
And I think that really the women of Los Angeles have missed having you around.
If there's one thing the women of Los Angeles have not missed...
Well, we haven't been able to talk about this yet, but I feel like we should talk about it.
Go on.
The big news.
The big
news.
news.
Allow me to pull this up from the good people at NPR. The popular dating apps Tinder, Hinge, and The League hook users with the promise of seemingly endless romantic matches in order to push people to pay money to continue their compulsive behavior, according to a federal lawsuit brought by 6 plaintiffs in New York, California, and Florida. Argues that dating app parent company Match Group gamifies the services, quote, to transform users into gamblers locked in a search for psychological rewards that Match makes elusive on purpose. The dating apps are really designed to turn users into addicts who do not find true love and instead keep purchasing subscriptions and other paid perks.
I've had this sent to me from multiple people, and just for the record, I am not a part of the lawsuit.
Okay, great to know. Great to know. I think it's so funny that multiple people are like, "Oh, dating app addiction, Seth
And
Brenner."
This is the face of dating app
I
addiction.
do think it would be exciting if you were part of the lawsuit and the entire podcast was used as evidence in a court of law.
Or
Oh.
the settlement could really help us move out of the craft room.
Oh my gosh, we'd be rolling in Neumann's.
I mean, we've been saying this from the jump. The article talks about dopamine release. We've been talking about this over and over and over
So
since we
do
started.
you think the plaintiffs got it from us? Wait, should we be suing that they stole our
Yes,
lawsuit?
we should be
Yeah.
suing this. I don't even know the term. The plaintiffs. Can you sue plaintiffs?
Sure, I feel like it's
countersue?
America. You can sue anybody.
This is very true. That is 100% accurate.
Was this, so wait, how did this feel for you? Was this,
Vindicated!
But why? You told us like a few episodes ago that you weren't addicted.
I'm
even though-
not. I'm not addicted. I'm fine.
Seth
Seth
is scratching himself like an addict.
But I'm doing either too much pantomiming or not enough, and we got the video, the audio. I'm confused.
You play to the back row, and we appreciate that about you.
Sure.
I'm just going to gain down the microphone a little bit.
I think it is very accurate what they are claiming. You can pay to send a rose, so they're going to put their best and brightest stars in that elite.
And what's it like for you to be used that way, Seth?
Listen, it's tough getting all these roses sent to me. It's flattering at first, but then it's just like you feel bad.
Now I'm over here picturing this going to trial, and
Us
Seth,
getting called in for
Seth
sure.
being on the stand, and them just being like, this man's problem is not the apps.
Yeah.
And going through each and
Yeah.
every one of your dates to prove that the problem is you.
Well, I think it's really interesting, and I would love to hear what our listeners have to say about
Any
this.
of our lawyers listening out there, I would love to hear your 2 cents on this.
We love hearing from listeners.
We
In
do.
fact, Relationship Corner!
Yeah, why do you hate Relationship Corner so much? Do
I
we need
don't.
to explore this?
It's just the jingle. I love the interaction. I love the feedback from our listeners.
My dad did give me some feedback that he's very angry at you, and he feels like after the retired model, you don't deserve any of the women you've been on dates with, and that they should all go to Relationship Corner listener Jason.
Thanks again for the microphone, Mr. Falcone.
Okay, this week's Relationship Corner is written. Just a reminder, you can write, although you can also send a video or an audio message.
Will you be doing a voice?
I won't.
Oh, bummer.
Sorry.
Okay.
It's too long to do a voice. I can't maintain a character that long. You've seen my acting reel. Okay. Hi, Seth in the City podcast. Big fan of the pod, longtime listener, first-time caller. I went to a fun singles event recently. I locked eyes with a gentleman when I first walked in who eventually came over and sat next to me. We chatted for a while, great banter back and forth. He asked me what I was looking for. I said a relationship. He said him too, but he didn't want to put pressure on things, and if it happens, it happens. I said, of course, no one is getting married on date 2, but every relationship/dating situation starts by saying, hey, this isn't a casual thing. We chatted some more, but it was early in the night, so we parted to talk with other people, and we found each other multiple times throughout the evening. There were times when I was chatting with someone else and he came over to join. Towards the end of the evening, drinks had been consumed. He was at my friend's table with us, and we had an arm around each other for some time.
Okay.
Arm
Touch.
Okay.
Then he said he was going to grab a drink downstairs. During this time, my friends wanted to leave, so I went downstairs to grab him, and I said, you should have my number. He took it and texted me that evening. Thoughts so far?
I had a thought right at the very beginning.
Okay.
Which is this eyes locking eye contact. It's been a long time. I don't know that I've ever experienced such a thing.
We locked eyes.
We locked. I mean,
We
we were
locked
in an
eyes.
improv scene. Yeah, we locked eyes. But I mean,
we locked eyes.
Okay, Seth. Do you have this experience? You walk into a bar or you walking onto a yacht and you just make eye contact with somebody and you're like, oh, it's on.
Not really, no. It feels very rom-com-y to me.
Do you think women are constantly thinking there was eye locking and the men are like, there was no eye locking?
No, I think there's an attraction element to this. And
Oh. Are men looking when the women aren't looking because men are gross, and then women are looking for the eye contact because women have souls?
I was going to say, is it that men are looking all the time everywhere and they're like, Seth is saying, tracking attractive people, and women are the variable that are like, if I say yes, this will happen. And so the women are like, it's on because I've said yes with my eyes.
I also think there's an element of forced interaction. If she was at a singles event, people are looking, people are scanning to make lock eyes with that special someone.
Okay, yes, this is also a good point.
Okay, so, well, what we know so far, do we think this is going to work out for our relationship corner listener?
I think it's a great start.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, but that leaf blower, I'm concerned that a microphone of this caliber.
Our gardener has just arrived.
David's here, and I'm concerned that the Neumann is so sensitive that we're going to have issues.
I think it's going to be fine.
Let's just come up with, all right, Meg, for those listening at home, you're listening to a leaf blower because Meghan didn't want to pause.
It's not picking it up.
Are you hearing that at home, folks? Let us know at sethinthecitypodcast@gmail.com.
The email continues. The next day, I texted back. We had some banter, and then I get a long text. He says he's in a stressful time in his life, subletting places and needing to move.
Did I write this person? Is this me? Did I write into the show?
Oh, no.
Plus, he just switched jobs.
Jesus Christ, this is me.
He asked, can we be friends first and see how it goes? I was surprised, to say the least. Why go to a singles event when you want a friend? I said I understood he's in a transitional time in his life. That must be hard. But respectfully, I don't need any more friends. I added that when he misses the incredibly charming girl he met, feel free to text me and maybe I'll still be available. My question to you guys is...
Great text, by the way.
Yeah. Have you all ever gone on a date with someone or met someone in this scenario and actually become friends? I've said no to continuing to date people before, and they've asked if we can at least be friends, and it seems like such a bizarre idea to me. 1,000% agree with this writer.
I have made some amazing friends, particularly in the last year and a half, however long we've been doing this nonsense. Specifically through the apps. Met in a dating capacity, and it transitioned into awesome friendships. So I can't fault this guy, especially if that's what he's looking for right now. Now, I realize he's met at a singles event. There's an expectation there.
And the touch.
The touch,
the arm around
the follow-up
each other,
texty
the text.
banter.
Now, the other thing could be, what's the term, breadcrumbing?
Yeah, what does breadcrumbing mean?
Isn't that when you like give just a little bit and keep things going?
Why? Just so that you don't.
He could be seeing someone else, and that might not be that might not be finished.
That seems like you wouldn't immediately friend zone it, right? You would go like, "Oh, I'm just busy right now."
This could also be a ploy.
To make her like him more?
The heart wants that which she cannot have.
I think based on all of our theories here, we know that this is not a person that we want to be involved with. I'm not interested in this guy. I think he's a bit of a douche, and I think we can skip it.
Which leads me to her question, which I would answer. You should never be friends with someone you broke up with, because you broke up with them.
What breakup? There's no breakup.
This relationship was going one direction is not going that direction anymore. If he's any of the things that Seth just described, he's not a person we want to.
Well, first of all,
he's friends with him.
We don't want to be
either.
friends with him.
I agree.
And I think the same. A long-term relationship, when it ends because there's something about that person you don't like.
But
they're dishonest. They're not interesting.
This is all very pointed because I, at times in my life, had been friends with exes, and Meghan didn't, I think, care for that. Is that true?
Because it's not a true friendship. When I go out to lunch with my closest girlfriends, I haven't made out with any of them.
None of them. You're being ridiculous.
I think, first of all, I do think people that have dated can still remain friends. I absolutely do.
But why?
You dated them for a reason. They're probably a pretty good person. It doesn't work all the time. Now, with this guy in particular, he seems wishy-washy and all over the place anyways. I don't know that there's much to go with on this guy who's subletting and bouncing things and transitioning that and doing this.
He sounds so much like you.
I know. It really...
Well, thank you so much for writing in.
Yeah.
We appreciate this great head-scratcher.
Yeah.
And I think mostly you dodged a bullet.
And you've got enough friends.
But tread lightly if he does reach out, because he might.
He's dead to me, and
Oh,
I hope
great.
he's dead to our writer.
Yeah. This has been
Relationship Corner.
See? See, Seth?
Lovely.
It's great. Have any of the parties from the accidental double date called you?
No, but Santa Barbara girl has reached out a couple of times.
The cool
Whoa!
Just to grab a coffee or hang out.
And you have?
I would have, but I actually.
You have too many friends.
Well, I've been out of town every time she's reached out.
I was thinking about the cool girl because it is so upsetting. And I think it maybe pinpoints a problem you have in relationships. You get so excited up front.
Like a puppy?
Yeah, you get so excited and so into it, and you make the big move. You go to Santa Barbara on a whim. You go big, and then you just fizzle so quickly. And I wonder if you could take all that excitement and just sort of spread it out.
Yeah, I probably could.
Would you say you've given up? And
No.
on some level,
I think
would
I've
you
given
say-
up. I think I've given up on the apps.
But
I
you're
you're
still
still
on the
on
apps.
them.
You're too busy to even really be thinking about dating.
So
Is that right?
So this is for the first time in my adult career life, it has been tricky to actually settle into a normal routine.
Well, just to explain for our listeners, in case this is your first episode, Seth is an ER doctor who is currently working in Los Angeles. And when he's in Los Angeles, he has given up his sublet because he's frugal and he stays with us. He's also working at 2 different hospitals in Colorado. So he's sort of between 3 different housing
Because
situations.
he's frugal.
Come on!
Frugal, she calls him.
I think you are frugal.
I am smart with my
I
finances.
think it's a bad thing. I think frugal is a compliment.
You do.
Sure.
You're saving money for your future wife.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
If you're listening, ladies, he's single and you can spend it. He's been saving it. Let's get back on track. So your life has been a little out of sorts,
it's hectic.
and so it's been hard to date.
It's been really, really tricky, which actually leads into this insane situation that I'm about to regale you of this tale.
Yes,
Oh, Seth came prepared with something.
This girl and I matched on Bumble
Okay.
months ago.
Months ago.
Literally months ago.
Okay.
Messaged on Bumble. Fine. Cute. Flirty. I thought it would be...
Fine, cute, flirty.
Fine, cute, flirty. I thought it would be an easy transition to phone and whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She deleted her app.
In the middle of talking to you?
Yeah, within... not in the middle of a conversation, but we had, a couple days of back and forth. And then... poof.
Disappears.
Now, she either deleted the app or she just deleted me.
Okay.
Oh.
What did you think when that happened?
Or it could be anything. I don't think it was particularly our banter, which was really good. It was really...
Although we've heard some of your banter, and
Come
it could have
on.
been.
Fast forward a month,
Okay.
we match on Hinge.
Oh.
She
So she
sent-
had it with Bumble just like we have.
She sent me a rose.
Oh.
Only get one of these. Got to make it count.
So she didn't want to risk just doing a normal like.
She wanted...
She wanted to make sure she had your attention to be like, remember me.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, this is all
This is
very
promising.
promising.
Pump the brakes here.
Oh,
We got...
it couldn't be going slower. Okay.
We reconnect. So yeah, I deleted Bumble. It's disgusting. It's awful. I hated it. Hinge is at least a little bit better.
Well, we
like
her.
her.
Well,
We
this
really
is very
like
promising.
her.
Did she say something like, I was so happy I saw you here on Hinge because I liked you so much on Bumble?
I said something to the effect of, "Hey, I think we matched on Bumble not too terribly long ago." She goes, and then she followed it up with, "I hated it. It was disgusting. It was too much. It was overwhelming."
But she definitely knew that you had matched.
100% yes.
Okay.
100%.
And you believe her because it's very possible that she... No, because the rose... We
Well, I
think
have
the
a
rose?
question about the rose. Do you get to keep the rose, or once you click it, it disappears?
Oh,
No,
can you then use it and give it to somebody else?
No, do you have a virtual vase where all your roses can be
Your
displayed?
top-
Absolutely great question.
Virtual
Thank
vase
you.
is really interesting.
But if it doesn't work out with her, that rose is just gone.
Well, yeah. If she sends me a rose, if I send someone a rose and they don't respond, that's it.
And what happens if all the petals fall off and you haven't found true love?
You turn into an orc.
An orc.
I think it's a teapot and a candle.
I was definitely doing Beauty and the Beast.
That's
Yeah.
where I was.
What's
Lord
an
of the-
orc?
I know,
the
but
Beast?
he turned into an orc. He looks like an orc. So start texting, usual stuff.
Was there retread from your last conversation? Or
No,
not really?
no, because
Okay.
this
It was brief on Bumble.
It was brief, but it was fine. It was, when it's easy and good, it's easy and good, and when it's not, when you're pulling teeth, it's awful.
I miss the days when you would show us text conversations and we
I
could marvel at
know.
how many ha's. You haven't done that as much lately, and I understand why because
Because-
you hated it. But
Yeah, and you
It was
just
really
beat me
fun
into
for us.
you beat me into submission here.
have you changed anything?
No, of course not.
What is her profile like? What is it that you keep getting drawn to?
Ivy League educated.
Okay.
Really cool job. She works in the music industry.
Okay.
Oh, for one of the massive production companies. I don't know what they call them.
Music publishing, that kind of thing, or
No, like
or event.
concert stuff
Yeah.
like that.
oh,
But
like a Live Nation kind of thing.
yeah, but not Live Nation.
Okay.
But she also manages bands too.
Oh.
So she's
Wow.
wearing a lot of hats in the music
But
industry.
you're not very hip with music, are you?
This guy, he's at ACL. What
Love
else do you
music.
go to?
Well, we got the live studio at the Moody Theater in Austin, which is
You
amazing.
like to go to the
I
the
love
music.
love. Now listen, Ariana Grande probably not going to know more than one or two of her songs.
What's one?
yeah, yeah.
Was that the relationship corner theme?
Did that just come out of my mouth?
Relationship corner?
I do like our Ariana Grande.
That was Meg doing Ariana doing relationship corner. We should see if we can get her to do it for us.
I bet she would.
Let's
probably
reach
would.
out. I
Um,
met her once when she was dating Pete Davidson and we were working together.
You think
That's
you could
really
ask
cool.
her?
Yeah, we got pretty close during
I wonder-
that 20-minute van ride we were in together.
I wonder if Pete and Ariana are still friends. If after they broke up, they stayed friends.
We'll have to check in on
Yeah.
Are we off topic?
Yeah.
that. Are we?
Does she speak other languages?
3 other languages:
Ooh.
3 other languages.
French, Spanish, German. This.
Oh.
Wow.
We go into a phone call relatively quickly within
Okay.
the first week. Amazing conversation. She does ask me if I speak other languages, and I start bad Spanish, bad French. She starts firing away at me to kind of test me.
Did you give it a try?
I gave it a try. It wasn't pretty. She's laughing at me part of the time, but I mean, she went to in great lengths to slow down and speak clearly, and I could understand her, and I could
so
respond
that's
a little
fun.
bit.
You like
little
that?
bit. It was awesome. And this is all of a sudden very intriguing.
Okay.
Intriguing is Seth's code word for he's in.
Thanks for telling the world my deepest, darkest secrets. So there's no point in waiting. Let's go grab a drink.
You got no time to lose.
No time to lose. Again, circling back, this is 5-6 months ago now.
Wait.
When
Wait,
the
wait.
first interaction
First
happens.
interactions happen.
Oh, it's already months have passed? Help me with the timeline. So, Bumble Connect happens, you talk for a few days. How many weeks later does she show up on Hinge?
About a month.
Okay, then you start the process again. You're texting for about a week, but relatively quick phone call.
Yeah.
So we're at 5-6 weeks now.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Let's go grab a drink.
Let's go grab a drink. Seth's intrigued.
It's either got to be tomorrow night or I'm going to Europe for 3 weeks the day after that.
Oh my God, do you say I'm just going to come to Europe with you?
Well, I was I've got this conference in Europe.
Yeah. It happens
And
to be 3 weeks long.
what part of Europe is the conference in? Where
All of it?
Yeah, it's actually I'm speaking in multiple cities. Stad.
Mostly Stad.
And of course I'm working the next night. So this all of a sudden went from really intriguing, really exciting to
Back burner.
there's no chance.
No chance. Oh,
no.
you're that's it. That's that.
Did you try and get your shift covered?
It would be last minute would be a difficult ask.
What about for example, for Tub Girl?
I'd go to Europe. I mean, literally would go to Europe.
Where they have a lot of tubs. I think tubs are more prevalent in Europe, really, honestly.
Oh, that thing where you have to it just has the shower head
There's
like
nothing
wor-
there.
there's
It's not
nothing
up there.
worse.
You're supposed to hold it and spray,
Yeah.
and then there's no curtain. It's
There's
a mess.
There's nothing worse than that when you're in a European hotel and that's the shower situation.
Thank God we live in America.
So she's off to Europe. touring with a couple of her one of her bands that's there. She's been WhatsApping when she gets to Europe.
What?
Just
It
keep
moved
it-
to WhatsApp?
She just
You've gone from Bumble to Hinge to text to phone and now to WhatsApp. If you start snapping each other and
I don't have Snap.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Facebook Messenger's next.
oh, gross.
Oh boy.
So we keep up. Every couple of days, we're texting for a few minutes.
Were you surprised when she WhatsApped you?
I mean, we sort of talked about let's keep up while you're gone, but and she did ask if I had WhatsApp.
Okay, I know we can't do Sparkometer because you haven't met her yet.
Right.
But like, your interest must be so high because this is
Totally.
a lot of work for you.
But
for something that is not going to pay off for weeks.
Right, but she's, again, there's something about her, and it's the same thing with this message from earlier, relationship core from earlier.
You can't have
If
it.
you can't have it, it's a little more exciting.
Okay.
That's human nature.
So do you feel you're being breadcrumbed?
No.
Not a malicious breadcrumbing, but
Yeah, are they benign? Are they
happenstance.
benign breadcrumbs?
No. I think
Maybe no carbs, for
I-
example.
It's
Spelt
a cauliflower crust bread.
this goes on. We keep in touch. Every couple of days we're chatting. She comes back to
Wow.
LA. I'm on my way back into town.
Okay.
So we tentatively make plans to meet up.
Sorry, this is not important, but have you switched back to regular texting
Back to
off
regular-
of WhatsApp?
Back to regular
think
texting
that is important.
when she got back to you.
Thank you, honey, because I'd like to do a little quick aside. We should all just be on WhatsApp. What this iMessage, Android message, SMS, MMS, blue, green, it's enough. Let's just all be on WhatsApp. It works for everybody equally. Megan made me get an iPhone, and it's the worst, darkest day of my life.
This is not about you. This is a podcast about Seth.
She's got an early concert.
Well, I will say, if everyone had an iPhone, no one would have to use WhatsApp because you can Wi-Fi text each other on iPhone to iPhone.
Thank you. Correct.
So
Thank
it would
you.
really work.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you could choose what...
Did we already?
Are you
did
trolling me?
Should we continue?
Yes.
Okay. So when Steve Jobs died,
No. Oh, not that. Okay, wait, let's get back.
I got back to LA the day we're supposed to meet up. She's going to this after party with the group.
Cool.
Come meet us up out there. It's super chill, but it'll be fun.
This is exciting to you. You're interested. This is your kind of
Very.
thing. Not a stupid, stuffy art gallery, but a fun music something.
Music scene, after party. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting people. It's going to be on the later side, which is also in my wheelhouse.
Okay.
Very interested.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
Literally walking to my car. What's the address of this place?
Yeah.
Well, I just left. I'm not feeling 100% great.
Oh,
still
what?
still jet lagged. Can we reschedule for later this week?
Did she forget that she had invited you? What if you had just shown up? Oh, you
I
didn't
don't
have the
address.
Huh.
I think this is not a real person.
Okay.
I think you're actually getting catfished.
Okay.
Not just like,
Really?
yeah.
Well, hang on. No worries at all. Go get some rest. Text me tomorrow. We'll make some plans for later this week.
Okay.
Were you mad?
Wasn't mad.
What'd
Disappointed.
you go do?
Zipped right back around and called it a night.
Really?
Yeah, what
That's
I-
not like you. You'll go and like, what do? You like go somewhere and you'll like
I will
What do you
talk
do?
to a bartender or something.
I will for sure go hang out with a Tim.
Yeah, you'll like call somebody and be like, "What are you doing?" And then you'll end up at like a
Absolutely.
karaoke night.
I think this was like a Monday. So
Oh, that's a huge karaoke night.
So it just depends. If I'm out, I will oftentimes just go post up at a bar and have a glass of wine or a beer. Why not? You never know who you're going to meet.
Why
not?
Seth is once again doing finger guns on the podcast.
She texted me the next day. I'm so sorry. I'm actually got sick, so blessing in disguise. I'm like legitimately sick.
Okay.
No problem. Feel better. Please let me know if you need anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a doctor.
Happy to help out.
Here's a picture of me and my scrubs. I'm a doctor.
Sure. She already has like 4 of them from the apps. So don't hear from her for a couple days. I finally check on her. Hey, just want to see how you're doing. Don't really hear back.
Oh.
So I go
Hard to get is fun, but too hard to get is. What's your interest level?
kind of doing one of these things.
Yeah.
In the
For
big
those
round.
listening, that was the waves. He's doing up and down.
Up and down.
It's a sine curve.
I actually have to go back to Austin for a few days.
Oh my god.
She texts me when I'm in Austin.
What?
We kind of pick up again. We actually have
You're
another
a glutton for punishment.
I'm
have-
Seth.
exhausted by this.
We actually have a FaceTime this time, so we can actually see and meet.
What's her face look like?
Looks exactly like her profile picture, which is always
Yeah.
a
So
relief.
2D sparkometer is high.
2D sparkometer is high.
Wait, this was when you're like shutting down your apartment there? Month 2 post original bumbling.
You got it.
So you've already spoken with a dozen other
You're
people
dating other
at this
people.
point.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen you've gone on dates.
And I'm sure she has too during this.
And you're not telling us about it, which is
secrets from us?
It's
No,
not-
I would never.
Is that true? You tell us everything.
Everything. I go back to LA. We make plans again.
Attempt number 3.
Attempt number 3.
Third time's a charm.
Boom. I got to go to Miami last minute.
And you have a conference in Miami.
I'm not even playing that card. She goes to Miami. She actually sends me a video of her side stage with the band in the back.
May I ask a question?
Please.
Do you think she's having these kinds of conversations with other
Certainly possible.
app meets?
Certainly possible.
She might be taking that same video from Miami and sending it to you and like 2 or 3
Sure.
other dudes
Certainly
and being like, this is what's up.
Certainly possible.
That's weird.
Yeah.
It's awful. She comes back from Miami. I don't hear from her for a couple of days.
Okay.
Reach out.
Who's mostly initiating?
It's really it's back and forth. It really.
Okay.
She's in town for 2 weeks before she goes to London.
I have a new thought about her, which is that she is like you right now at this point in your life, where you enjoy the fun of chatting with people and talking to pretty girls, but you're like, you don't really have time to have a relationship. So you just like keep these things like barely going. So you have
Oh.
something like when you're at the airport in between places, you're like, well, I'll just text this person that I
Well,
have.
that's the
Yeah.
definition of the gamifying.
Okay.
Is when you are at that layover in Denver and you get on your phone and you just start flipping through when you have no chance of ever meeting this woman. That is 100% the gamifying
That's- yeah.
aspect of it. It's
no,
gross.
but this is interesting. This is slightly different. This is like, it's just somebody to talk to.
Totally.
Yeah.
And we've got a lot in common, and she's easy to talk to, and she's super nice and fun and smart and all the blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
We try to make plans. In this 2-week window, it's not happening.
I'm
Oh.
exhausted.
I can't stand it.
I'm
All right,
exhausted
I'm gonna
by
fast.
this
I'm gonna
shit.
fast forward a little bit here.
You haven't been fast forwarding?
She goes to London. We actually FaceTime a couple of times when she's in London.
Wow.
But what is the?
I don't know, Meg.
I don't understand what.
It's
appeal is.
awful. It's not. There's no appeal. It's awful.
But you're still.
I
doing it.
know!
I just
That
don't
just sounds
understand.
just
Ugh,
awful.
It's exhausting.
Is there an element of arousal? Is there an element
Meg's
of?
asking, are you cybering?
We
No,
are
I'm
not
not.
cybering.
Are you doing cyber?
We are not cybering.
I'm not asking
Cybering.
if you're cybering, but I am asking, like, does it excite
No, you want to know if we're having FaceTime sex.
I mean, sure, I'm excited to know about that, but that's not really what I was asking. Like, is there an element of excitement here?
No, it's nice though.
Why?
Because I'd like to meet this person. This person actually is intelligent and beautiful and fun and has this really cool job. I would not be doing this if I wasn't interested in this woman. We're getting it close to month 3 now,
Oh,
and
my
we've never
Good
met.
heavens, what a time commitment.
It's and again, there's been a lot of texting and a lot of messaging and phone calls and FaceTimes, and we've never met.
Are you feeling closer to her? Is it still surface level, or at least the conversation's getting
Again,
deeper?
He's in a long-term
Yeah, this is the
relationship.
best relationship I've had in 2 years. We're gonna try to finally meet up.
Okay.
Finally, she's at an after party with one of her bands. I'm finishing work at 2 a.m.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know where this party is exactly, but I'm in downtown LA. I text her about 1 a.m. Say, hey, I'm wrapping up in about an hour. Can't wait to finally meet you. Where am I going?
By the way, unimaginable, but okay.
Awful. And does she think you're like too
Thirsty.
thirsty
Is
for
it
I
her?
don't know.
Thirsty?
This has been going on for months.
Yeah.
I don't
would
hear
lose
back
interest,
from
I think.
her. I
Okay.
don't hear back from her.
Oh God.
It's 2 a.m. I'm tired. I'd like to meet up with her. I call. She doesn't pick up. I'm heading back to Santa Monica at this point.
Okay.
I get a text from her like 3 a.m. Hey, here's the address we're in.
Oh my god. Okay.
And it was downtown.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Oh my
look,
God.
this is now on you. This is now
Correct.
on you.
Correct.
It's enough. We
guess what?
can't do it.
I don't reply.
Good.
Okay.
Oh, good for
All
you.
right.
She texts me the next morning. I'm so sorry. I text you late. I don't reply.
Okay.
I'm
good.
done.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
I'm over.
We're out.
Good.
Enough.
Silent treatment.
Okay.
Okay.
Breadcrumbs have been dried up. They've blown to the wind.
Done. Maybe 3 or 4 days later, she texts me, silent treatment. I deserve this.
She's calling you on your. Now I'm back in a
No,
little bit.
she's
calling
trying to.
him.
He's trying to fade away.
I don't reply.
Okay, you continue the
Okay.
silent treatment after being called out on the silent
Couple
treatment.
days later, she calls me. I don't answer. She leaves a voice message. Okay, this is all on me. Let's meet up.
No, don't fall for it again, Seth.
Charlie Brown.
Don't fall for it again.
Charlie Brown.
We actually met up.
Oh,
What?
And she is delightful.
Okay.
She
Okay.
is
Sparkometer.
Spark on her.
high. 4.45.
What's she
She
wearing?
is-
What's she look like?
Jean jacket, kind of cut up.
Kind of cut up.
Hey, there's like holes and stuff.
Yeah,
whatever.
I gotcha.
Black jeans.
I love that. As we all know,
Oh, you
I
do
love a
that
black jean.
And she is charming and personable. She insists on buying the drinks.
Yeah.
She feels bad about it all.
I guess so.
Okay.
And it is,
Are you giving her a gentle ribbing about it?
of course.
Yeah.
But she acknowledges the fact that she totally flaked. But she was delightful. We spoke a little bit in French. She kept correcting my French.
Okay.
It was just a great time.
Zut alors.
Where did you go?
We went to some rooftop bar in West Hollywood.
Mama Shelter?
Mama Shelter?
Yeah, Mama Shelter.
I love Mama Shelter.
It was great.
Great tips.
We didn't eat. We just had drinks.
Okay.
If this would have happened 90 days before, it would have been one of the better first dates I've had
Well, to Megan's earlier point, it prevented you from doing your, like, better to burn out than to fade away.
Sure.
Your run too hot, get too...
Sure.
And maybe you got to know her in a deeper way because you chatted for so long.
I just told you we had this really intimate relationship that wasn't a relationship. This wasn't even a pen pal. This was, I mean, what's the next iteration of a pen pal? A voicemail pal? I don't even know.
You were friends. You
Sure.
became friends.
We became friends.
And so then you meet in person and you're into it.
Absolutely.
Is she into it?
I think so. There was a little touching for you, Meg.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
I mean, after
But-
all that pent-up...
Palling.
This was a solid first date.
Do you think that the waiting built up, made it better or made it worse or made it...
This was just so weird. Now, the date itself was really great.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed meeting this woman and really had a good time.
Okay.
But the fact that it had been so long and we knew so much about each other was
It's like dating your best friend.
Well, I do think it speaks to like the benefit of getting to know someone in a way that's not on the apps, because the apps, it almost feels like you're following a script. You have to ask certain questions. They
This
have
was
to...
off script. We were
Yeah.
off book. Bada bing, bada boom. We had a great time.
Did you? Bada bing, bada boom, right to fantasy suite?
No! I would have yada yada at Fantasy
I mean,
Suites.
did you bada bing, bada bang? Maybe.
Thank you for that punch up.
Yeah, no problem.
She offers to drive me back to Santa Monica.
Whoa.
She lives in WeHo.
Wow.
Like,
Is
I
that not an
always
invite
say-
over?
It might have been.
But
She gets a call, like, as we're walking.
no.
She's got to go deal with one of her bands who's doing this, who's doing that.
Was
She-
this
hang on,
a
hang on,
fake
hang-
emergency call?
Stop. She asked me if I want to come.
Oh.
I had the early shift the next day.
Oh.
If you've got a good exit point, you've got a really good time, you should do that. She's not got to go to work. She's got to have to introduce me to everybody. This felt like, hey, this has been a great date.
Cut our losses.
No.
he says.
Cut our
Yeah.
losses.
Yeah.
No. Cut our losses is not the right term. This was a great time to exit on a high note. Leave
Okay.
them wanting more.
Okay. All right.
If I'd taken the ride to Santa Monica, which I absolutely would have, as opposed to paying for the Uber because I'm so frugal,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Meg,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
absolutely would have done that, and that might have been a green light. But this felt like she's got to go to work, she's got to do this, that, and the other. So I took an Uber. She texted me from the work site. She's like, probably a good idea you come. It's a total shit show at this thing.
Okay.
So I was like, no worries. Text me tomorrow. We'll see you soon.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Wait, what?
What?
Because
What?
there's a lot more to go.
I can't make heads or tails of this.